Hello, I'm live. I'm just going to get a little bit more light. So 1 second. Oh, hey, Clem. Someone else may be joining us for our call today. No, Annie. Oh, that was Clementine. Clementine is a perfect place to start. Actually, I should introduce myself. My name is Kayla. This is my channel. I am a life coach. I coach anywhere in terms of relationships, business, goals, weight loss, emotional breakthroughs, you name it. If there's something specifically that you feel is blocked or holding you back and you want to work on it, I can help you. So let's dive right in. I've got her hair all over my face. All right, Clementine. Even though she sheds and gets hair all over my face, she brings me so much joy. And I wanted to talk about that today because it's an important skill set to be able to, one, recognize joy, and two, cultivate it in your life, and three, continue moving towards it. So, one, recognizing joy is key. I think sometimes we get so busy and caught up in our goals, in our tasks, in just getting through the day, that things that come along that may bring us joy sort of pass us by. We ignore the opportunity. We don't even look up from our phones to see the kids playing on the subway, reading to their mom this really cute book. And that moment, if you take a moment and really enjoy it and be present for it, can bring joy to your day. Taking a moment to come home for lunch so that I can pet my cat and give her a little hug brings an element of joy to my day. And I have about a 4-hour window today between clients. So I came home and I'll be out of town traveling next week. So I wanted to, I don't really have any groceries in the house. So I wanted to get some food, but I also didn't want to get too much since I'll be out of town for a week. And so the thought that occurred to me, it's kind of a cold, rainy day here in New York City, was to get the ingredients to make a lasagna. Yes, I am making a lasagna right now at 2:30 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. And it's the 3 to 4 hour window of time that I have available, totally free. And I decide to make lasagna with my free time. But the thing is, cooking when I have the time for it really brings me joy. And cooking good food that will be nourishing and taste delicious. It just always tastes so much better when you make it yourself. I feel like it's much more satisfying. That brings me joy. And, this is a key component of not only self-care, but also getting yourself into the place where you're going to be more productive, more efficient, and just more of service in whatever it is that you're moving towards. When I'm operating out of a place of exhaustion or fatigue or overwhelm, I'm not showing up for my clients as my best self. I'm not going to be as productive. I'm going to choose to maybe veg out and watch Netflix, there's nothing wrong with that. Trust me. Or, but maybe I had other things on my goals, like other goals that I wanted to accomplish that day, other tasks that I wanted to get done. And because I'm already in a place of just feeling overwhelmed and defeated and exhausted, those tasks don't even seem doable. And it's actually probably best that I do take a nap and not try and accomplish those things from that emotional space. That's one strategy, is to just kind of calm down, step back, and just not go there. Or two, the second strategy, number two, is to cultivate joy in your life. Finding moments, even if they're small joys, like baking a lasagna, that inspired me to accomplish one of my goals, which was to put a video out today. And here I am. And I was just in a place of like, oh, wow, I can't remember the last time I was just playing music and drinking a bubbly seltzer and cooking and my cat's running around and asking for treats in the kitchen. And it's a simple thing. And there was a moment in my brain that said, oh, well, you should be doing this, and this, and this for your business. You should be emailing this person, putting up this Facebook post, doing this marketing task, yada, yada, yada. And I'm getting better and better at recognizing those thoughts of coming from a place of insecurity and knowing that those thoughts are only going to lead me to overwhelm, frustration, exhaustion. And instead, the best thing I could be doing is putting myself in a place where I am feeling joy, feeling good, feeling my best, because that is actually going to energize me and will set me up in a place of inspired action. And when we can get ourselves in that space of inspired action, our creativity just flows out of us. So that Facebook post or that YouTube video, or even just the laundry you have to do, becomes a pleasure and becomes so much easier to think about going to, like, of just accomplishing it, because you're lifted and energized and filled with joy because you've taken a moment for yourself to feel it in your day. So that's that moment of recognizing joy. How can we cultivate joy? How can we make sure joy is happening on a daily basis? One thing you can do, this is something I learned, there's an amazing course called The Artist's Way, and something that I really loved that she did in that book. Her name was Campbell. Let me look up the author. I think that's important. Forgetting the first name. If you haven't, it's for anybody. It doesn't have to be just for Julia Cameron. It doesn't have to be just for artists. It's really about cultivating creativity in your life and accomplishing your wildest dreams and goals. And she has some really tangible, practical exercises there. And one of them is called the artist date. And it's where you schedule a weekly date for yourself. It has to be for yourself. And she specifically talks about your artist self, right? So if you're a painter and you are, struggling with painting, and this is part of the course, is that you schedule a weekly artist date for yourself. It's something that brings you joy, and it's something that you do solo, which I think is an important distinction, because we can't always rely on others to provide that joy. We need to cultivate the skill of finding it and experiencing it in solitude on our own. And so, as if you're a painter, that one example of an artist date is to go to the Met and spend 2 hours at the Met looking at beautiful works of art, or going to the art store and picking out new paints, or going to the park and just looking around and sketching and being inspired by nature, or seeing a really great film that inspires you creatively, and just going on a specific planned date. It doesn't even have to cost money, but it has to be something that you plan in advance and you go to on your own, and that brings you joy. So that's, I think, a great skill to take into your everyday life, honestly. It doesn't have to be as ornate as a solo date every single day, but what are little moments along the way in your day that bring you joy? Is it a podcast that you love to listen to, that you listen to on your commute? Is it starting a new book? Is it taking a moment to go get a fancy latte and just sitting still and enjoying the latte for 10 minutes before getting back to work? But find those journals. One place to start is just journaling, freestyle, stream of consciousness, things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, and then take from that list and see how you can incorporate those on a daily basis. And the more you start to do that, the more joy you're actually going to come across. Because think about this, if you're in a place where you're feeling really positive and joyful and grateful, you're going to naturally see and think about more things that are going to bring you joy and make you grateful. If you're in a place where you've missed, this happens all the time, right? You missed your first subway, right? You're running late, so you missed the train. So you're already you've lowered your energy, you've lowered your vibration. So then of course you get on the train where, someone bumps into you and you're just, it just takes you even further into that place of frustration. And then, of course the train pauses for 30 seconds, but of course you freak out. This is ridiculous. The MTA, curses, and you just spiral downward. And you're just slowly seeing more. You're prone to be seeing more and more of those negative obstacles. But you could literally go through the exact same actions, but if you started with the day that the person at Starbucks in front of you paid for your coffee, then, oh, you're like starting from this place of joy. You missed the train. Oh, whatever. This coffee has already set you up on this high vibration that maybe something comes along the way. And instead of going all the way here, maybe you dip down for a second and then you kind of come back up a little bit. Maybe you bump into someone. I mean, you just really think about it. When you're not in a rush and you're feeling good and you're happy, those little things that happen barely even, they fly under the radar. But when you're already in a place of exhaustion and fatigue and frustration, you're just so much more sensitive to letting all of these other things that you cannot control bring even further down into that place. So as you cultivate joy on a daily basis, those those little obstacles and negative moments aren't as significant and don't impact you and don't derail you as easily. So then the third one is really recognizing joy. So recognizing, the things that bring you joy, right? So I think this was actually number 2. I skipped and said 3 first, cultivating it. So really that second step is recognizing the things that will bring you joy, which that homework list is really helpful to reveal. And also just taking stock of things that are already present in your life that bring joy, like your cat, your pet, your dog. Maybe you have, some beautiful plants that you love to cultivate and take care of, and surround your apartment with beautiful things that bring you joy. Maybe it is taking a little extra time to cook for yourself, or making sure you're spending time with friends. That's a big one for me. I think when I first was starting the business, I believed at the time that, one, I didn't have the time or the financial resources to be social with my friends and go out and do fun things. That belief wasn't necessarily true. And it also robbed me of a lot of the energy that I actually get from being with friends, being in the city, and enjoying life, right? Which is why I'm starting the business and why I'm doing all of this, is to actually enjoy my life and make my life better. So if I'm purposefully not participating in the things that bring me joy because I think that I shouldn't be doing those things as a responsible new business owner, this sort of defeats the purpose, and it does not lead me to success, either business-wise or personal success. So I'm going to keep this short today, but I just thought I would share that challenge for you to follow joy. When you find joy, follow that path. Find more ways to keep the joy coming, to keep cultivating it, and to keep it a part of your daily life. If you have any questions or any comments of things that bring joy to you, share them below. Tell me what brings you joy. What are some of those ways that you can cultivate it in your life? And if this is a struggle for you, comment with your questions, or post below why this is difficult, what challenges you may be facing. Maybe you think, oh, nothing ever good happens in my life, and if that's your true belief and experience right now, that's valid. But how can we start to shape that into a new perspective and a new space to welcome joy in? Because I promise there's joy. You can just walk outside and find something. So this is accessible for everyone, no matter where you are, no matter who you are. If you also have anything personal that you'd like to share privately, feel free to message me, and I'd be happy to chat. All right, well, enjoy this wonderful Tuesday, everybody. And again, my name's Kayla, and thanks for listening today. All right, take care. Bye.